So I have a question that everyone keeps running away from. And that's, why do we hate bullies but give bullies the platform to be bullies? Now, I'm sure you're wondering, what's Summer talking about? You see, yesterday there was a Twitter post that went very viral from the South African government themselves. So this wasn't some representative of theirs you've never heard of before. This wasn't some random person from the University of what saying this and that on an SABC News interview. No, this was the actual South African government that made a Twitter post saying, and I paraphrase here because I may not be completely accurate, but what I mean is very accurate. They said, you, me, and every other South African, basically everyone else around the world who looks at South African news as well, must do our best to refrain from misinformation. Why? Because South Africa happens to not have any race-based laws. Now, here's the thing. If this was something that was said by the National Party in the mid-80s or 90s during the apartheid regime, the entire world would have gone crazy for the right reasons. My question is, why isn't the same energy being put into this downright blatant lie that has been actively witnessed by everyone who has X as an app? They didn't even hide any of it. You can literally look it up right there. The South African government literally said there are no race-based laws. But I can tell you, after you watch this video, you can go and research for yourself. Go to any searching platform, go to any AI, and ask them how many race-based laws we have. Well, if you don't know, you'll be shocked to know that we have approximately 145 race-based laws in 2025. So this so-called democratic nation that loves its youth and women so much with its fantastic president has 145 laws that are based on the color of someone's skin. It's honestly really sad knowing that South Africa is still in such a situation. We have laws that apply to those who are a certain skin color. I'm talking about BEE, land seizures, sometimes even crime. You look at some of these racially motivated crimes like farm murders, although nobody wants to admit it. The same thing with expropriation without compensation. We denied it in front of the entire world, and Mashatile comes out in the morning and says, who's denying it? We're taking land. We're taking all the land. But now here's the thing. What confuses me is how we choose what to be angry about and what we choose to not be angry about. Is that not supremacy? We choose what's bad and then what's not bad. You get what I'm saying? Like, all these black supremacists you see on Twitter, they'll be the first to post apartheid pictures when the white people used to put the no whites sign, right? Remember that? For those of you who were born before 1995, I'm sure you remember those signs if you grew up at the time. They'll be the first to post those. It's just something that crosses my mind now and again. And that thing is how South Africa manages to choose what it wants to be good and choose what it wants to be bad. So because I'm taking the side of AfriForum, Solidarity, and Trump, I'm the coconut racist, despite the fact that they're the ones who make sense and they're the ones who are not lying. But if you are a host like Dan Corder at News 24, you're the good guy, right? Because you have a camera and you're on live television every day. You just have to be the good guy. All the YouTubers are the bad guys for making people actually think instead of mindlessly consuming TV content that makes them think a certain way. I thought news was supposed to tell you about something impartially. Nowadays, our news wants you to think a certain way. Like, what the actual fudge is going on with this nation? Since when is a certain type of racism more important than the other type of racism? We live in a world right now where being racist to a white person is 10 times less important than being racist to a black person. You can get more years in prison for being racist to a black person than being racist to a white person. You get what I'm saying? You can go to jail for taking down those solidarity posters. No, correct me. Sorry about that. What I'm trying to say is you can go to jail for calling out racism against other races, and you can remain safe for calling out racism against black people. Whereas calling out racism in itself should be the matter here, because nobody should be seen as less than because of race. And the black people should be the last people to ever do this. They should be the first to know that, because black people for many years have been oppressed. This is the confusing part. You have black South Africans who are the first to be racist, whereas because they are descendants of those who have been oppressed, they should be the first ones to know that that is not the way. You get what I'm saying? So it's just so concerning, the direction we're going. Should I even call this a G20 summit, what we're going to have soon? It's a G17 now, because USA pulled out of it, Argentina pulled out of it, Mexico pulled out of it. Well, Argentina didn't really pull out of it because they put their vice president in there. But like what my man Ronaldo host said yesterday, it's a direct punch in the skull, because that's an insult. G20 summit is supposed to have the top dudes attending. Bro is sending his vice president in there. Trump was so pissed he didn't even bother sending anyone. America's just downright boycotting the entire G20 summit, the biggest economy in the world, giving China more leverage and giving South Africa less credibility. It's making everybody believe that what Trump is accusing South Africa of doing is actually true, day by day, because it is. Land seizures are true. The farm attacks are true. Did I leave anything out? Oh yeah, I did. The race-based laws are very true. We have the most race-based laws in the world, but we're not a race-based country. But hey, I'm the wrong guy, right? I'm just a YouTuber who keeps calling out the truth. Believe your government. They're the ones who make 145 race-based laws and have the gall to walk in front of you and tell you straight in the face that they have no race-based laws. It's almost like they all sit in a room every once a week and come up with these different ideas to just test how dumb we are. Does anyone remember the saga of the Epstein files? When they were all teasing how they were going to release the Epstein files. How Trump was saying when he becomes president, he's going to release the Epstein files. And then when he becomes president, all of a sudden the Epstein files never even existed. It's like governments do this thing where they just want to really test out how dumb people can really be. How we can make them forget about certain things. And then the next time in the US they asked about the Epstein files, Trump was like, we're still talking about this creep Jeffrey Epstein. What do you mean? You get what I'm saying? It's like what's happening over here. Every time we ask about EWC and farm attacks, they're like, nah, don't talk about that. There's bigger things to talk about. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry if there's bigger things to talk about, women getting raped and killed, our farmers getting murdered, and our land getting taken for absolutely 0 rand. I'm sorry for being a tax-paying, law-abiding citizen who just wants to know what's going on in his country. You get what I'm saying? Like, this is genuinely so concerning. This isn't, I don't even know what I'm going to call this video. This is just one of those thought videos. You get what I mean? Like, I just had to share this thought with you because I know it's also in your head. We have a very, very disturbing double standard in South Africa. Some things are right because we say they're right, and then some things are wrong because we say they're wrong. So if Peter Creel, for example, talks about black pain and gets invited to a black business summit, whereas he's as white as ever, that's right. But if Summer Sambit calls out racism against whites, he's a coconut and he's a sellout. There's just something very wrong with that mindset.